WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. Boy, we've got a good book to tell you about. And I even learned a word, Robin. I'll tell you what that is in just a second. Neal Shusterman is on the phone. He's an award-winning New York Times best-selling author. And, quite frequently we ask authors if they would like their book made into a movie, and they would always say from your mouth to God's ears. Or we'll speak to an accomplished author who has had a movie made and didn't have a good experience with it. Neal has had a movie made, I think, either that or there's one in the works. I'm not really sure.
Released in 2016.
Oh, in 2016. See, you know that stuff. How do you know these things? His book is called Undivided. Listen to this. It's called a young adult. It is a young adult novel, but it's called the last installment of the Unwind Dystology. This is the word I learned.
Yeah.
You know, when you look up dystology,
Yes.
you think, okay, well, what number does that make it? Well, it says the book 4 in the Unwind What is a dystology, right? Do you know what it is?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know. I looked it up, and I'm not the only one who wondered, because other people who looked it up. Let me just read one of the questions. Somebody wrote, "What is the dystology?" They go to Yahoo Answers, right? And they say, "I think it's a word." I think. Hold on. I think it's a word that Neal Shusterman made up. That's what somebody wrote here. Well, let's find out.
Right.
Come on. Neal Shusterman. Good morning, Neal. How are you?
I am doing very well.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm actually right now in the middle of my tour for Undivided. I'm in Washington, D.C.
This is a good... Oh, but did I tell you the title? The audience, Undivided. This is a really good book.
Yes.
I can't tell you... I'd be lying to you, though, if I didn't say this is troubling, too.
It is.
This is a troubling part of this.
In a good way.
Yeah, I think God would come back to Earth and say, "Okay, that's enough. You guys have gone too far now with science." So tell me about this book. So this is book 4. So does your readership already get this whole concept of the unwound teenager?
Yes, although the book can be read on its own. It's the 4th in the series, Unwind being the first. And the basic idea is this is a society in which medical science has gone off the deep end, and teenagers can be used for their body parts, provided that 100% of them is used. So it basically poses the question: if 100% of you is alive but divided and indifferent people, are you still alive? What happens to your consciousness in that situation?
That is fascinating.
Now, do they make money from this? the kids.
Yeah, well, it's like it's kind of like the insurance industry or the pharmaceutical industry now. All of society is kind of like involved financially in this whole unwinding process, and so it's the inertia of it makes it very hard for society to change.
The unwound teens are considered unwanted people, correct?
Kids that are unwanted, unloved. The idea initially came. I had seen an article about teenagers in England, feral teens. And they were interviewing people and asking them what should be done about this problem. And there were people who were actually saying that we ought to pass a law that allows us to get rid of them. Nobody wants them. Nobody needs them.
Well, now, they're unwanted according to who?
Well, according to either their parents, the community as a whole. And what would happen if a law like that was passed that allowed you to get rid of kids that nobody wanted? Would people avail themselves of that? Would people look the other way and let it happen?
Whoa, that is creepy. All right, so, is there a movie being made of this book?
Yes, it's in development right now with Constantine Films. They're very excited about it. Having a very positive experience with the development of it, and hopefully it'll be out within the next couple of years.
There was a film called Coma. Weren't they harvesting organs from people in comas or something? Mm-hmm. Something like that. But yours is different in that these kids are walking around and they're used completely. And there's a character in the book named Cam. Tell me about Cam.
Cam is made up entirely of other unwound kids. So he's kind of like a modern-day Frankenstein. He's not made from the dead, but he's made from the living.
See, I pictured Prince William when you said, I wasn't picturing Frankenstein. I was picturing Prince William.
Well, he's made of the most attractive, the best, and the brightest, and so he's incredibly intelligent, very talented, but he has an identity crisis. Who am I if not even my own memories are my own?
Mm-hmm.
So he has the memories of the people who make him up.
Yes, exactly.
Now, do we, I don't know if you would know this, but do we have memories in our livers?
Well, I've heard a lot of stories. I did a lot of research. A lot of the book is based on science and taking science and extrapolating it forward. But there's a lot of anecdotal evidence about organs actually imparting memory on people.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't know.
And you are really addressing a larger picture here, because right now we have all of the sex traffickers out there. We have the slavery people out there, and it all centers around money. And that's the huge issue of your book also, is that people feel unwanted, they're runaways, or they're kicked out of their homes.
Good observation, Robin, yeah.
You really hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to not just tell a story that's a futuristic story, but tell a story that relates to our time and really takes a look at society, the way society makes decisions, and the unintended consequences of the decisions that we make.
Wow. I wonder if we have any societies. I bet you we do. I mean, looking at some of the news items, we must have some societies that totally consider people to be possessions and therefore up for grabs. Use them for whatever you want.
Well, I did a lot of research in black marketeering, in organ trafficking, and I'm constantly being sent links to articles that are sent to me by kids and teachers saying, hey, look at what's really happening. Look at the direction that we're going. And it's really great to get those emails, because it means that the book is raising a red flag. And that's really what it's supposed to do. I mean, the series is supposed to get people to
that was the idea,
and look at all these things.
Is your series of books disturbing to your children? Have they read it? Does it make them more cautious in today's world?
My kids have read it, and they really do enjoy them. And, I've never thought of unwinding them, and they know that.
Well, I'm referring to another piece of literature / movie from the past, Soylent Green. Remember that was like?
Yes, I do.
Almost like a warning. When you get to be 60, you got to go to sleep, and then you're going to be food.
Yeah.
I would say there has to be. There's a little bit of influence in that. That really affected me when I was a kid and I saw that movie.
Oh, did it really? This is described in the publicity material as a book for young readers, but I'm telling you, Robin and I both enjoyed it, so I think everybody will. Is the movie going to try to also? I don't know. Maybe movies are always aimed at young viewers. I'm not sure.
Well, they want to get a bigger audience. They want to get everybody to come see it. And the books themselves are written at a level that adults appreciate as well, as you said. A comment that I very often get is kids will read the book and then bring it to their parents and say, "Mom, Dad, you have to read this."
Yeah,
and so the book is being read more and more. The whole series is being read more and more by adults, which is really nice, because it's not just for teenagers; it's for everyone.
You have the unwound teenagers. You also have the storked teens.
Oh, yeah.
Who are the storked teens? Explain that.
Well, it's more unintended consequences of society's choices. These are unwanted babies, and to keep babies from being abandoned in horrible situations, they sort of took the idea of the safe haven law and have extended it so that anyone can leave a newborn baby on someone's doorstep, and whoever finds it is now the legal custodian of that baby. And so I call it storking. That's one of the laws in society now in the series.
What role does religion play in your book?
Well, religion is like everything else in the book. Everything has taken a twist towards distorted. So there's one character by the name of Lev who comes from a very strict religious cult, and they believe in tithing, giving 10%, but it's taken to the extreme. So 1 out of every 10 kids is from birth to be given over for unwinding when they hit their 13th birthday. And so in the story, it sort of talks a little bit about what happens when faith becomes hypocritical.
Yeah, this is
well, it's not a knock against faith. It's a knock.
I can tell you what happens. I can tell you what happens. There's wars and stuff. Neal Shusterman, you are a really fabulous author. It's nice to get to know you. So what do if I'm going back to this Yahoo page, how do I tell them is the definite? I'm going to tell them I spoke to you.
Yes.
What is the definition of dystology?
This Dystology is it was going to be a trilogy, but it ended up being 4 books. So didn't like any of the words for 4-book series. Tetralogy, quartet, none of them seemed to quite work. So since it's kind of a dystopian series, I figured, well, why don't I call it a Dystology?
Okay.
I'm waiting for that to show up in the dictionary someday.
It will. It will.
I actually coined a word.
I think you did, because have you ever looked it up and seen what the people are writing on Yahoo, whatever it's called, Yahoo Answers?
No, I haven't. I should do that.
Oh, yeah. What is a dystology, somebody writes? I've been reading the Unwind series by Neal Shusterman, and the 3rd book, Unsold, says book 3 in the Unwind dystology. I looked up the word, and it's only associated with the Unwind series. But I'm still lost on what exactly is a dystology. I feel dumb asking this. I get the feeling it's a made-up word, but I just want to know.
Well, there's also some people who go on there and they post a definition as if they know the answer.
Well, the first answer is, I guess it's a portmanteau, whatever that is.
We have to look that up.
Portmanteau of dystopian.
They made that one up.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or XXX Logi or something. Okay. Wow. You have made up a word. I think it will be in the dictionary next year, especially if this becomes a movie. I have a copy of Undivided. I'd like to give it away. It's a hardcover, well-written book. You're going to like this one, and you can tell everybody you had it before it was made into a movie. The phone number to claim the one I have is 622-9622. And Neal, before we run out of time, how do we get the book, and what's your website?
The book you can get anywhere. You can get it at your local bookseller at Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble. It's out today, and my website is Storyman.com.
Storyman. Wow, nobody had that already, huh?
Yeah, I got it really early, and I've kept it all these years.
Wow, good for you. Good for you. Well, you're a joy to talk to. I don't know what your circumstances are right now, but I think you're going to be catapulted into some new realm with this one. So thank you for being...
Hopefully not a realm where they unwind people.
No. Well, maybe you'll prevent the unwinding. Although I'm not so sure about North Korea. They might start doing it. Neal, thank you for being on the air with us today. That was fun.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some sun followed by clouds today. Breezy, warm and humid with a high of 85 to 89. Look for a shower and heavy thunderstorm mainly during the afternoon hours. Tonight, mostly cloudy, warm and humid with a shower and thunderstorm around low 70 to 74. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine with a brief shower or two. The high in the upper 70s to the mid 80s. Thursday,